Just because he is bipolar doesn't make Kanye West any less of an asshole. The dude is a prick and an asshole flat out. Yeah, maybe being bipolar is why he is an asshole, but it doesn't make him any less of an asshole. Everyone has problems. Some people are assholes because of how they were raised, some people are assholes because they hate their job. They are all reasons but not excuses. Kanye rushes the stage at the VMAs and took over a speech. I don't care if he's bipolar, he is a fucking asshole. He has also acknowledged he is bipolar, accepts his diagnosis but still goes off his meds. Fuck that dude, he is an asshole. Had an ex that was bipolar. I sympathize that he had issues, but he was still an asshole to me. Then instead of apologizing it was always, you know how I get, why are you surprised/upset? I always think of mental illness like an explanation, not an excuse. He comes across as extremely narcissistic, which is probably a better explanation for his assholish tendencies than anything to do with his bipolar disorder. Damn, as someone diagnosed bipolar type 1, I am upset with the response of the community. On the right medications people can live a normal life. He obviously isn't on the right concoction. It took my doctor throwing 3 different darts for 4 years to find the right combination. I haven't been manic or depressed since he hit the triple bullseye. The brain is a difficult beast to modulate. Literally everything you consume or do alters the chemistry. I stopped using all drugs but alcohol. I'm sure if I stopped drinking that my medications would need to be slightly altered. I agree. He's always been a totally conceited prick. Yeah, dude's mentally ill, but he is also a fucking idiot. It's not all to blame on his mental illness. Not wavy at all, this post is. In my opinion, Kanye has only done a few things that were outright asshole-ish. And most of them were 10 years ago. I'm not defending his political views or the statements he makes, but I do see a good human and a good father somewhere in there. It's easy to get caught up in the flashy moments and poorly articulated statements, but I promise you that if you listen to this dude's discography from front to back you will see him differently. He has been through some shit just like we all have, but it just so happens that he was burdened with bipolar disorder and a massive group of people who hate his guts 24/7. I don't agree with his politics, but he has done some objectively good deeds. He donated $2 million to George Floyd's family, he was seen protesting with BLM, he is currently working on building shelters for the homeless called YZY shelters. Not to mention all the young artists he has helped cultivate their own sound and make songs with. Hip-hop wouldn't be the same without him. It's easy to see 30 secs clips of him being crazy and write him off as an ass, but I urge you people to be more compassionate towards someone who has faced the death of a mom, for which he blames himself for, and someone who constantly is on and off with manic episodes. No, I am not part of the Kanye cult as you guys like to call it, but he is nowhere near the biggest piece of shit around right now like you guys are making it seem. Edit. A lot of you people are posting to make it seem like Kanye goes around spitting on babies. Like, damn, what did he do to make you hate him so much? Kanye rushed the stage in 2009. How is anyone still upset over this? It's been an entire decade. I like how the only example you can bring up about him being an asshole is what he did 10 years ago. LMAOOOUU. It's really enlightening to see how hollow all the talk about destigmatizing mental illness and improving the way we deal with it really is. Bipolar is a serious disorder that ruins people's lives and causes them to go down incredibly self-destructive paths, and blaming the patient for it is incredibly ignorant. The disease causes irrational behavior, recklessness, grandiosity, and paranoia. You can say, oh, just get treatment, but the disease itself gets in the way of that. In fact, 50% of people with bipolar disorder do not take their medication regularly, so this is not a unique issue. People need to recognize this as a disease and realize that Kanye is not in control of his actions and needs help. I hate when people blame an illness for their overall stupidity. There's way more people out in the world that aren't assholes with mental illnesses. I suffer from bipolar mixed disorder. While I may not always be able to help the impulsive things that I say and do at times, I've never really used it as an excuse. I'm an asshole, without a doubt. At times I would say that I am savage even, and it's terrible. My particular form of bipolar disorder has what is called rapid cycling, and I can be a complete roller coaster within hours. Manic, angry, euphoric, and depressive all in one day. The suicide rate is very high for my somewhat rare form because it's a lot. People really either absolutely love me or just completely hate my guts. A lot like Kanye. It's just a cross we have to bear. However, people do need to realize that we live our lives in constant battle with our own brain. And some days it feels like you're just not going to make it. It takes a lot of effort to try and deal with situations that are triggering in a normal way. As far as medication is concerned, I also have issues sticking to them. Everyone I have ever been on has what feels like debilitating side effects. Tremors, drowsiness, muscle pain, nausea, seizures, sedation, suicidal thoughts, the fucking list goes on. Just because you can't physically see our disability, which is exactly what it is, it doesn't mean it shouldn't be recognized. I'm bipolar. I take my meds every evening before bed. I never, ever want to be the horrible person I was during my one manic episode. Never, ever again. Being clapping hands mentally, clapping hands ill, clapping hands does, clapping hands not, clapping hands mean, clapping hands you, clapping hands can't, clapping hands also, clapping hands b, clapping hands a, clapping hands dick, clapping hands. What exactly makes him an asshole? What has he done to hurt others? JW. I get the entire thing around you shouldn't use it as an excuse you're saying. People should always be looking in improving themselves, but his mental health is none of your business. If someone had an injured leg and couldn't run as fast as others, you wouldn't say you can't use your disability as an excuse. I know people with that type of injury who can run just fine. See, it's different when you put it into perspective of physical disability, huh? Disabilities such as bipolar hinder people's ability to act as society expects them to. Maybe instead of saying fuck that dude, he's an asshole just because he has a harder time doing stuff than you do, you should be encouraging him to get better. Take a deep look at yourself, buddy. Kanye has bipolar disorder. What's your excuse?